I love Spike. He is the cutest little baby dragon, but what would he look like if he was a pony? Hey guys, it's Manda Panda and welcome back to another custom My Little Pony tutorial. Today, I am going to be creating my version of Spike as a pony. I'm going to be using this shining armor figurine and I'm starting off by removing his head. It can be a little tricky, but just pull the head to the side until it just pops right out of the neck plug. Now, I don't need any of this fuzzy troll looking hair, so I'm going to use my pliers and I'm going to pull off all of this hair because this is not a rooted pony. This hair is just like a strip that's been glued on. So there's a bunch of residue still left on the head, so I'm using some acetone to loosen up all of that glue, and then I'm going to scrape off as much of this fuzzy hair as I can, and then I'm going to fill in this entire area because it did leave a really big indentation. Now I'm going to make Spike a unicorn because I think he should be able to do magic. Now I'm going to prep the body. Now this isn't going to require too much work. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut off the bulk of the tail and then use the pointed end to push the rest of the tail into the actual body. So it should look like that, completely ready to get a new tail later on. Now I'm going to use a little bit of acetone and remove Shining Armor's cutie mark. So now the head and the body are ready to be customized. I'm going to be using Americana Festive Green, Americana Sour Apple, and this Folk Art Light Green acrylic paint that doesn't have a name, it's just a light green. And for the body, I'm going to be using the Sally Hansen nail polish in No Hard Feelings. So let's get started on Spike's head. I'm going to use some Sugru, which is air dry rubber. I've used this in so many customs now, I lost count. I like using it because it doesn't shrink and it's a glue, so it actually adheres itself to the pony and you don't have to worry about it falling off. So I'm just going to warm it up in my hands and I've rolled it out into this little worm shape, and I'm going to use my fingers to fill in this entire area of the head and make sure it's nice and smooth. And that looks so good. Now, while the Sugru is still soft, I'm going to add these little strips on the top of the head to make it look like Spike's hair instead of giving him like actual rooted hair. And I'm gonna put 5 pieces of hair on his head and I've let them set. They are completely hard. Now it's time to start painting, but before I do, I'm taking a little bit of acetone and I am removing the bulk of the eyes because it's kind of hard to cover black with white and it'll just make it easier later on. I'm gonna kind of mount the head on the end of my pliers because it makes it really easy to paint the entire thing without smudging it with your fingers. I'm starting off by using that really bright green paint and painting Spike's mane, and this is probably going to take me 3, maybe 4 coats of acrylic paint. And now I'm going to switch over to the nail polish and completely paint the head purple, and I am not painting the eyes. I kind of like to save the original eyes so that way I have a really good placement for the new ones later on. I'm switching over to that light green acrylic paint that didn't have a name, and I am painting the bottom half of Spike's chin because on Spike the dragon, his entire underbelly all the way up to his mouth is a shade of light green. Now I'm gonna go in with that medium green color and just draw in a few little stripes to give it some dimension. And now it's time to start working on Spike's eyes. I am using some white acrylic paint and I am drawing out the new shape of the eye. I'm switching over to that bright green, the same one I used for his hair, and I'm going to paint in the eye. And now I'm going to go in with those other 2 shades of green just to give the eye a little bit of dimension, give it like a little bit of an ombre effect. Going in with some black, and then lastly I will put one light reflection in Spike's eye. So the head is completely done. I'm going to give it a coat of clear nail polish to seal all of my work in, and while that's drying I'm going to start working on Spike's body. I'm going to take the end of a paintbrush and put it directly inside of the tail hole. This just gives me a lot of direction and movement and allows me to paint the entire body without smudging it with my fingers, which I've done before. And it really sucks because then you have to go back and fix your paint job. So I gave the entire body 2 coats of that purple nail polish, and I'm switching again back to that light green that didn't have a name, and I'm painting the chest and the underbelly of the pony, and I'm gonna bring this light green area all the way to the tail hole. Now, when it comes to the stripes that I put on the head, I want to make the stripes on the body a little different. I want to give them some dimension, make them look 3D. So I have this special tip for the end of a bottle of acrylic paint, and it basically transforms the acrylic paint into like a pen sort of. So you can see that the tip is very fine. And now I can write with it. You see that? So I like the fact that it's going to give me like a 3D line. So I'm going to go in and draw on some stripes and then let them completely dry. The stripes have completely dried. I love that effect it gave the front of the pony. Now I'm going to go in with that medium green and just kind of paint a few of the stripes here and there to give the chest and underbelly a lot of dimension. And then I'm going to give Spike a few spikes on his back. So I'm just using some sugru and molding them out with my fingers. I'm gonna see if I can fit 4 spikes on the pony's back. Then I'm gonna let the sugru completely set and harden, and then start painting them that same shade of green that I used for the hair. Once all of the paint has completely dried, it is time to give Spike his tail. Now for the tail, I picked out this gorgeous shade of green called Envy from dollyhair.com. I'm going to take a bunch of hair and cut it down to 1/4 the original length, and then I'm going to use a twist tie, and very, very tightly I'm going to twist tie all of this hair together. And I trimmed off the end of the twist tie there, and I'm gonna secure the hair to the pony using Gorilla Glue, and this is the white Gorilla Glue, which I suggest over the original one because this one will actually puff up as it dries and secure that hair really well from the inside. And then I'm just going to push the tail in with the end of a paintbrush and let that completely dry. I'm gonna pop the head back on the pony. Let's check out the completed custom. Here is Spike the pony, and he looks so amazing. I love the way that he came out. Now, I didn't give him a cutie mark because I wasn't sure what his cutie mark should be, so I would love to hear your suggestions. Let me know what you think his cutie mark should be down in the comments below. Spike is my favorite My Little Pony character. I've made him into a dog, I've made him into a fish, I've made him into a Pokemon, and now into a pony. So what should I make Spike into next? Let me know down in the comments below. I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, Little Pandas. Until next time, bye! you can follow me online. To get the latest news and updates, like my Facebook page, facebook.com/MandaPandaToyCollector, or follow me on Instagram at MandaPandaToyCollector. Want to mail me something? Guess what? You can. Mail it to Manda Panda, P.O. Box 2855, Humble, Texas 77347.